We are now joined by violence monitor expert Mary De Haas. Mary, thank you very much for your time. Mary, how serious is the issue of political violence, especially in KwaZulu-Natal?
Look, it depends what you mean, because most of the violence recently, in recent years, has been within the ANC, but it was mainly relating to positions on the party lists in the local government elections, and of course also the corruption issues. The political violence of the kind of past involving different parties is still to some extent with us. There's kind of skirmishes between IFP and ANC over contested areas, for example. That happened a week or so back. But as long that may continue to happen, I don't know. But it's a different pattern of violence these last years. As I said, most of it has been within a particular party. Now, at this stage, there's not a lot to fight about because the party lists are over and done with. So we may, of course, continue to see standoffs between different parties over contested areas. For example, the DA has also complained that they've been harassed and intimidated when they go into some of the ANC areas. So I think we'll probably see more of that.
Now, we know that some arrests have been made. However, the conviction rate remains very low. Are we in denial because very often we hear it's pure criminality, it's not political violence, Mary?
Look, we know that in the last, let me just go back to say the beginning of 2016, when there was a lot of competition over who got on to be a councillor nominated, because there were those factions within the ANC that I think are well known, between two groupings in this province that were competing about who would become president of the ANC. Right. Now, if we go back to then, since then there have been several dozen people killed. When I say politically linked, I mean people who perhaps were prominent party activists, councillors, party officials, and sometimes municipal managers in municipalities which are wracked with corruption. Okay, now we've got several dozen of those cases. I don't know how many convictions have been. The minister said recently there have been a few convictions. I only know one conviction on that list of people that I have. Now, again, you can't say these crimes are politically motivated because, in some of those cases of the names on my list, certainly there's good reason to believe there are political dynamics. In other cases, perhaps there's a business relationship, a taxi relationship. Behind it, as I said, lies issues relating to corruption in many cases. And those are political in the sense that it involves political kickbacks, it involves getting to a position of councillor so that you can you can get access to tenders. So that's the way these issues are linked to actual politics. But it's a different issue when you get to the stage of canvassing for general elections, and then people will go into, IFP will go into ANC areas, ANC will go to IFP areas, DA will go into areas of other parties, and that's when you have to watch out for the intimidation or even overt attacks. I mean, we've had them in most elections in recent years. The odd attack here or there, attempted killing, sometimes actually a killing. But compared with, say, 20 years ago, it's much better than it was, but still no cause for complacency.
Mary, very quickly, if we look at the figures of political violence, we know it goes up ahead of elections. Are we seeing the figures with this election much higher than previous elections? Or
No, not at all. Not in the run-up to elections. As I said, in the last, let's say, in the last election or two, talking general election, you've got to distinguish between the general elections and the council elections, because the council elections are contested for different reasons, largely within the parties. But in the general elections of the last 5 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, there were sporadic incidents, just as there are now. It's no worse so far.
Thank you for joining us, Mary De Haas, on the Skype line. Remember, your X counts. Be safe on election day. These individuals are missing. Can you help to locate them? Police are looking for these wanted criminals. Please come forward if you know their whereabouts. And remember, when making your tip-off, provide as much information as possible about these suspects. Thank you for watching CrimeWatch. I'm Yusuf Abramji. It's a war, and we are going to win it.